This happened to me in 2016 when I was living in Capitol Hill, Seattle. I worked the late shift at a local bookstore, and after closing up around midnight, I usually walked home. It was about 8 blocks, and I enjoyed the peace. I loved the silence of the city after dark when everything slows down. That night was cold, a little foggy, unusually quiet. Even the usual late-night drunks weren't out. As I turned the corner onto Pike Street, I noticed a man a few blocks ahead of me. Nothing strange at first, but then I realized he wasn't just walking, he was dancing. At first I thought he was drunk. He moved strangely, exaggerated steps, slow, theatrical, like a mime or a silent film actor. He wore a pale gray suit, oddly clean for midnight, and his arms swung loosely at his sides. His head tilted side to side, like he was keeping rhythm with a song I couldn't hear. As I got closer, I noticed something that froze me. He was smiling, not just a small smile, a wide, ear-to-ear grin, teeth exposed, frozen like it had been carved into his face. His eyes were wide open, unblinking. He'd crossed the street instinctively. He did too, mid-step, without missing a beat, still dancing, still smiling. No cars, no one else around. I sped up. So did he. His steps quickened but kept that unnatural rhythm. And then, he stopped. I was about 30 feet away. He stood perfectly still, grin unbroken, arms limp at his sides. Then he tilted his head all the way back, looking up at the sky. I could hear him giggling. Not a laugh, more like a gurgle, high-pitched and wet. Then he dropped his head and looked right at me. I froze. He raised his hand slowly and waved. Then he whispered. Even though we were far apart, I heard it like it was next to my ear. It's nice to be seen again. That was it. I turned and ran. I didn't care how I looked. I didn't stop until I was inside my apartment building, 3 blocks away. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped my keys. I called a friend. Slept with the lights on. A few days later, I told someone about it. She didn't laugh. She just said, "Sounds like you saw the smiling man. People have seen him all over the country, always smiling, always dancing, always following. Some say he's not human, some say he's a spirit, others think he's just something else. Whatever he is, I pray I never see that smile again." This happened to me back in 2004 when I was in high school in rural Illinois. Our school was built in the early 90s, thick brick walls, creaky wood floors, long narrow hallways with doors that looked like they belonged in a hospital. There was one girls' bathroom on the 3rd floor that everyone avoided. The lights always flickered and the stalls had these tall, heavy doors that slammed on their own sometimes. We called it the Hanako room, even though most of us didn't know what that meant. It wasn't until sophomore year that I found out. I was dared by a friend to go in alone after school and do the Bloody Mary thing. I didn't believe in that kind of stuff, but I was too proud to say no. So I went in. The room smelled like old water and rust. The last stall door was crooked, hanging slightly open. I looked at myself in the mirror, rolled my eyes, and said her name once, twice, 3 times. Nothing happened. I waited, still nothing. I laughed, told my friend outside the door she owed me a soda, and turned on the faucet. That's when I saw it. In the mirror behind me, there was someone in the stall. I turned around, no one there. When I looked back at the mirror, she was closer. A woman. Long, dark hair, soaked to her skin, pale face, deep red lips, and her eyes. They didn't blink, just stared through the glass, as if it was a window, not a reflection. I backed up, I heard the stall door creak. I turned and ran. As I hit the exit, I swear I felt fingers graze the back of my neck, cold, wet. I didn't stop running until I was outside the building. When I got home that night, I did some digging online. That's when I found out about Hanako-san, a Japanese urban legend about the ghost of a girl who haunts school bathrooms. She appears in the mirror if you summon her, and if she chooses you, she follows. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. Every time I turned out the lights, I thought I heard water dripping, always behind me. I still don't use that kind of mirror when I'm alone. It was October 2021, and I was driving home from my sister's place in western Kansas. It's flat out there, just 2-lane roads cutting through miles of cornfields. No lights, no towns, just endless dark. Around 12:45 a.m., I pulled into a gas station in a tiny town I'd never heard of. I filled up, grabbed coffee, and parked in front of the building to check my GPS. That's when I heard a knock on the passenger window. 2 kids, maybe 10 or 11, standing side by side, no expression, pale skin, old clothes. The boy wore a brown wool coat that looked like it was from the 1940s. The girl had on a white dress that was too thin for the cold. They didn't smile. They didn't look scared. They just stood there. Then the girl spoke. Calm, monotone. "Can you give us a ride?" My stomach turned. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. She spoke again. "We can't come in unless you say yes." That's when I saw their eyes. Black. Completely black. No whites. Just dark, empty pits. I felt my heart lurch, like my body knew before my mind did. Something was wrong. I turned the ignition, slammed it into reverse, and drove off so fast I almost clipped the pump behind me. I didn't stop until I was 2 towns away. I pulled over and dry heaved into a ditch. Later that week, I looked it up. The Black Noon Kids. It's an urban legend, they say, but people have reported encounters for years. All similar. They knock on your car, your house. They speak calmly, ask to come in. And if you say yes, well, that's the part no one ever talks about. Never let them in. I never found out what happens next, and I never stop for strangers anymore. And those were 3 true urban legends horror stories, proof that some stories are more than myths. Whether it's the eerie smile of a man who shouldn't exist, a ghost in the mirror who watches from the shadows, or children with hollow eyes and unspoken intentions, these legends aren't just tales told around campfires. They're warnings. And sometimes, if you're unlucky enough, they find you. Urban legends endure because deep down we know there's truth hiding in them. A reflection too clear, a knock at midnight, a stranger who doesn't blink. So next time you hear footsteps behind you when no one's there, or someone asks to be let in, remember this. Legends begin with someone like you. Someone who didn't believe until it was too late. If one of these stories chilled you, let us know which one you'll never forget. And if you've ever had a real-life brush with an urban legend, we want to hear your story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying true encounters. Until next time, stay in the light, and whatever you do, don't say her name out loud.